you're also here after listening to one of the most controversial and problematic stand-up skits, then you're not alone. Dave Chappelle did a comedy routine on the Netflix show in which he said things that were not only mean but straight up transphobic. But why is Hannah Gadsby stuck in this mess, and why do you need to know about it? Well, let us start. And you'll be blown away finding out what all the fuss is about, and so, let's break down this whole scene for you. Hannah Gadsby is not really happy with the CEO of Netflix because he's a main culprit why the world-famous stand-up comedian got involved with this whole scenario in the first place. And mind us, she does not seem happy about it. The CEO, Ted Sarandos, was accused by Hannah Gadsby recently as he dragged her into this mess, and now all the hate and criticism are now directed towards the female comedian, and can you believe she had nothing to do with the controversy? The controversy started from Dave's stand-up show, The Closer, which is being criticized worldwide for being transphobic and stereotypical towards the LGBT+ community, and he's being called out on Twitter for that. Can you believe that Dave thought he would manage to get away with transphobia disguised in humor? Because people are not only much more liberal but more vocal for trans rights now, and Dave is not getting away with this anytime soon. At least that's what we could see from all the tweets. Netflix company played all its cards wrong when it came to the defense of Dave, and while defending his stand-up special and calling it diversity, they accidentally included Hannah Gadsby's name in it. Hannah also does a comedy special with Netflix and is all mixed up with a comedian who not only is transphobic, but is doing outdated and problematic comedy, and Hannah was not ready to take it. So, she went to her Instagram and did a thing no one believed she would. Hannah literally called out Netflix for being an immoral algorithm cult and criticized them for adding her name in the email while defending Dave, which increased the hate and outrage she already was receiving. Now, the thing is, there was really no sense in adding Hannah's name into the explanatory email by Netflix, but they were probably trying to flex that they appreciate diversity and are giving a chance to people from all ages to have a voice. But Hannah gave them a shut-up call, which was much needed. She also added she must now go through much more outrage by Dave Chappelle's fans while he's making $20 million with his problematic views and outdated humor that sees the world in a stunned partial view. Netflix sent this email to literally everyone, in which they wrote they are working hard enough to make sure that marginalized communities have a voice, and they're not limited to just one story or just one person, and they're not being generalized. But, hello? That's exactly what Dave Chappelle did. He literally generalized all of the LGBTQ community and even called them people with thin skin. Now what would Sarandos call it? We're really intrigued to know the answer. Well, they continued to email and talked about their world-famous shows like Sex Education and Control Z, and further added to the name of Hannah Gadsby right before the name of Dave Chappelle, and they even called them an important part of Netflix increasing diversity. We know it's just a name in an email, but you won't believe how severe outrage Hannah had to face just because of that. This issue, being a really sensitive matter, could have been simply resolved by a heartfelt apology by Dave, but Netflix again came forward to defend its shows like it does every single time. Who doesn't know J.K. Rowling was accused of being really transphobic and mean to the LGBTQ+ community, but Dave even defended her in his comedy special, and people really could not keep calm. It was apparent that Hannah was right about Netflix when she called it an algorithm cult, because in an email to the managers, Netflix said they gotta back Dave up because the bigger the controversy, the greater the news. Even an executive producer of Netflix, Jacqueline Moore, said her goodbyes to Netflix because according to her, Netflix is making billions by producing dangerously stereotypical and transphobic content that's shaping young minds into thinking a certain way, and we can't help but agree with Jacqueline Moore. The outrage against Dave was really big even on Twitter, and he's trending to date because people are not open to his problematic views anymore in the name of humor, and Hannah has the same views. Hannah even finds it insulting to be included with a man who has such a negative and stereotypical view on the LGBTQ+ community, and she thinks it's really irresponsible to be on such a big platform to say one thing when you know millions of people are watching you and are getting inspired by you. We really appreciate that Hannah did not keep up with this cult and spoke up against what was happening because someone had to speak up. Or this profiting of the LGBTQ+ community will continue to increase. You'll be really shocked to know that Netflix even suspended one of its employees for tweeting about transphobia that Netflix is promoting. We really did not expect such a petty thing from Netflix, at least. But at this point, we really shouldn't have any expectations with it because Hannah's pretty much exposed the cult. The matter has spread like a forest fire, and we can't wait to know your views whether you're on Team Hannah or Team Dave. Let us know in the comments section. Also, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for the latest celebrity gossip and updates. We'll see you in the next video. Till then, hasta la vista.